Welcome everyone. Thank you very much for joining us on today's coffee break. And without telling anything else, so Christina, the stage is yours. I let you present the topic and eventually yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Adam. So my name is Christina Vince. As you can see here, I'm a VDA trainer by the QFD group from Hungary, and I will be your presenter today with our topic, which will be that how the VDA 2 volume will change. Because I hope that everybody knows that that the changes are coming. So the new volume will be available soon in red version. But what is the reality now? That not in red version, but in yellow version, the volume is available. So I would like to suggest to everybody, so if you are not checking that what will be the changes, or you are not familiar that what will be new items in the VDA tool volume, it is a very good opportunity to go to the website, to the VDA QMC website, and if you are looking for the yellow volumes, you will see that the VDA 2 volume is available there. Here in the dia, you can see that not only the VDA 2 volume is available at the moment on the portal, because we have one more yellow volume at the moment at the VDA QMC website, because I hope that many of you knows the news that the IIG and the VDA working group are working together. And now the new SPC manual, which will be a harmonized one between the IIG and the VDA side, will be also available soon. So, but it is only an information for you. Of course, today we will discuss only about the VDA 2 volume. It is our main topic now. What you have to know that on the VDA portal, VDA portal, this yellow volume will be available only till 2nd of April. So if you would like to check what is the content of the yellow volume of the VDA 2, so please download the current version, the yellow version, and you can check it page by page. And if you have any comments for the VDA that some items is not fit for the automotive business, you cannot work with it because of this and this and this reason. So you can send your feedbacks to the VDA portal as it is normal. So as the VDA is always working with the yellow volumes. So the formula for your feedbacks are also available on the VDA QMC portal. Okay, so when you are checking the VDA QMC, you can see here that not only the yellow volume, but the formula for the feedback is also available. Okay, so you can download it, and after you can send it directly to the VDA. And after 2nd of April, they will collect all of the information which is coming back from the suppliers, and they will finalize the volume, which will be at that time red colored and not yellow colored. But from this time that they will publish the red version of the VDA 2, it will be not free of charge anymore, but you have to buy it by the VDA QMC portal. Okay, but now till it is a yellow volume, it is absolutely free of charge, so you can download it anytime as you want. Okay, so let's see that what will be the content. What is the content now of the yellow volume? It will be, you have to know that it will be the 7th edition of the VDA 2 booklet, and the main focus will be on the risk-based approach, as what we are using in any kind of auditing system. Or can we speak about the VDA 6.3 or the newest one, the VDA 6.8 auditing system, or if we are talking about the ISO 9001 or IATF standards, automotive standards, all of them are using the same risk-based approach. So it will be a main focus during our new edition. Okay, so we know that the PPA process is determined by the risk level of the product to be released. So the main focus during this PPA procedure will be the product approval and the process approval together, but it is not changed. So it was under the focus in the previous one, in the current one, in the 6th edition of the PPA. Okay, let's see that what is the scope now. It is only a little bit changed, so that the finished product and the components is absolutely not changing. What is the news here? The software itself will be handled as a product. So we have to make 2 different versions about it. So if we are a software developer company, only the software itself should be a product, or the second version is that when our software is an embedded part of our hardware components or hardware finished goods. So in this case, we have to speak about as a product together, hardware and software part of our product. Okay, so it is written here now that the software will be handled as an individual product. Okay, let's see that what should be the cause of the PPA. So how can we start a PPA? Under the main focus, that what is the responsibility of the supplier? What is the result, or what is the cause why the suppliers can start a PPA process? We know that any time that we are changing on the product or changing on the process, in that case we have to start a procedure by the PPA, product and process approval. What is very, very important, you can see here in the dia, that it should be done by the interdisciplinary team. So not only one fight man, what we are looking for. So a whole team is needed to make any approval process from the customer. So of course we have to involve the customer for the PPA process, but it will be one of our main questions, that how we can involve the customer, because in the previous version, in the edition 6, we knew that we will open the book, we will looking for the trigger matrix, and we will see that we will looking for that what kind of changing method we have, and we are looking for that what is the rule for that. So we have to start a new PPA process, or only we have to inform the customer about the change, or we can do it by own responsibility, because it is not needed that the customer has to be involved. It will be a little bit change, so we will speak it a little bit later, because the trigger matrix itself, it was part of the PPA volume in the edition 6, but now it will be eliminated. So in the edition 7, the trigger matrix is not part of the new rules. So it will be the question that how we can be sure that we have to inform the customer or not. Okay, so let's see that how it is changing. So firstly, the volume is defined, that how we have to do a decision making, that we have to start a new PPA or not. So you can see here that there will be a lot of question in the new booklet, in the edition 7, where we have to answer for all of the question. So for example, here is the first one. Is it a special case what we are changing on the product or on the process itself? Does it affect any legal or regulatory requirements? Are integrity, form, function, reliability, or safety affected? expected, and so on and so on. So I will not read all of the question, but firstly, before we are making a decision that we are starting a new PPA process or not, we have to answer for these questions. Okay, so all of the questions will be available in the new version, in the seventh edition of the VDA 2. They are highlighting that the risk assessment is how important that we have to do it. We knew that based on the IFTF norm, based on the ISO 9001 rules, we have to make risk assessment, but it is absolutely highlighted here that the PPA, before we are starting the PPA process, we have to do a risk assessment. Here, at the beginning of the new volume, it is only written that what is the requirements of the procedure. So how we have to make a risk assessment. But some slides later, we will see that not only the focusing point as a risk assessment will be highlighted here, but the new volume will be defined that what should be the content of the risk assessment. So in the future, you are not allowed to do any kind of risk assessment, but the content will be absolutely defined. So it is a little bit similar that the control plan rules, that the formula itself, what you are using, it is absolutely your decision, but the content will be absolutely defined. So we will check it a little bit later, that what is inside. Okay, now before we are checking this risk assessment contents, you can see here that what is the timeline of the PPA process, so where we can use this PPA process. So it is not any magic inside here. So if we are in tier 1 or tier N situations, so I will show it to you here. So if we are in tier 1 or any kind of other tier situation, so we can use it in serial condition, but which is very, very important. So many of our trainings, we are speaking about that now we have a new main milestone in our product life cycle if we are responsible for software development, because based on the software development, this new milestone called EOS, which means end of service timing. What does it mean? So when we are not producing anymore any spare parts production, so we finish our spare part production, we will be responsible for the software updates. And it means that the new EOS milestone will be handled additional 15-year timing. Then the customer can ask a requalification process for the softwares, plus at that timing, in that 15-year timing, they are allowed to send reclamations or the claims for the softwares. Okay, so for that one, if we are responsible for the software development and we are in EOS timing, so in that case, it can be happen that if we are changing something on the software, we have to restart a new PPA process. So it will be depends that what kind of changes we are doing on the softwares. Okay, but this is which is very important now, that not only in the physical production will belongs by the PPA process, because it will belongs to the serial condition, the spare parts production, plus to the EOS timing. Okay, for the software development, it is very, very important that for the EOS, it will be absolutely valid that we have to do the PPA process. Okay, what is the situation with the agreement of the customer? So it will absolutely not change. So when we are signing the contract and start our process or project procedure, so in that case, we have to make an agreement with the customer that what will be the content of the PPA. So which evidences will be uploaded to the customer, which will be only archived in our organization. But which is very, very important also, that in the edition 6, the PPA agreement documentation, so the Excel file, which has minimum 300 different lines after each other. So it was part of the edition 6, but now from the edition 7, it will be eliminated. So now, if you would like to make any new PPA, you have to get a contact with your OEMs, so with your customer, and you have to ask to send you an Excel file, or if you have this, I don't know, from previous projects, so you can use it. But for the future, the PPA agreement document, so the Excel file itself, it will be not part of the VDA volume 2. So they will eliminate, but a little bit later we will discuss that how the axis will be changes, because it will be a little bit reduced, but it will be not changing that when you are signing the contract, after you have to go to the customer and make an agreement that which evidences you will be uploaded or you will be keep in your organization. Okay, but if we are talking about the evidences, it will be a little bit change, because we have 3 possibilities that how we can handle the evidences. So you can see here in the diagram the 3 different possibilities. The first is when we are not uploading the document itself to the customer. So we will only make some reference, or we will link the documentation that, okay, we are creating the design FMEA. So you can see here some example that what can be this type of evidences. For example, design FMEA, process FMEA, or some kind of inspection. So we will prove the customer that it is available, but we are never send it to them. The second will be the availability, when we tell to the customer that they are we are keeping it in-house. If they want to see it, they have to come to our organization and we will show it to them. Here is 2 samples, the requalification and the functional test, for example. The third one is the verification, when we are absolutely sending to the customer or uploading them to the customer portal, because it will be needed to check by the customer whether the results of our measurements are okay or not. So here also you can see some example, for example, a comparison of measurement reports or some kind of tactical drawing. So how we will compare and how we can prove the customer that our results are fit for the requirement. Okay, let's see that how the submission of the evidence will be working. So we knew that in the current version, there was a table where all of the evidences were listed. So if we have only hardware version, there were 38 evidences. If we had an embedded software for our hardware part, plus 11 evidences were listed there. And at the other part of the table, it was written that we have to send the evidence or upload the evidence. So it is a major requirement that we have to upload the document, or we have to make an agreement with the customer that we will keep it or we will upload them as part of the PPA procedure. So it will changing. So the letters that it was D and A and V letters, what we found in the table in the past. So now it is changing. So now if you are checking the table itself, so you can see these 3 different versions: self-assessment or submission, or the submission. So sometimes it can happen that we will have some kind of evidences, what we will prove to the customer only by the self-assessment. So we know that at the end of every maturity level closure, we have to fill out our self-assessment, that what is the status of our project at the moment. And this will be the only one time and only one place where we will inform the customer that the evidence is available. The second one, where we have to make a decision together with the customer whether it will be part only the self-assessment or we will send it or upload it to the portal. And the third one, that there is no question, because it is a mandatory requirement of the evidence that we have to upload it to the customer and they will agree with or not. Okay, let's see that if we are talking about the evidences, how it will change. So now we know that the number of evidences will be reduced. What does it mean? That at the current edition, edition 6, as I told you, that for the hardware version, we have 38 type of evidences, what we have to make an agreement with the customer, that how many will be uploaded to their portals. If we have an embedded software, there are more 11 evidence type. How it will change? So in the 7th edition, it will be reused, both of them. So in the hardware side, there will be only 32, sorry. And at the software side, it will be only six type of evidences. Okay, so how we can be sure that what kind of evidence were eliminated, or how the evidence list was changed? There is some different type of changes there. So first is what you can see here, that in the chapter 1, so here in the left side of the dia, you can see that what will be in edition 7, so it will be the new version of the VDA booklet. And in the right side of the dia, you can see the last version, so the current valid version, the 6th edition of the VDA 2. So you can see here in the right side that now, at the moment, for example, in chapter 1, evidences of the product development, we have 5 different type of evidences: technical specification, approved design change, and so on and so on. Now it will be changed, so it will be reused. So for the product development, so the customer will ask from you only the design FMEA. And you can see here what I told you before, that here it will be written that the design FMEA is absolutely enough if you are making a statement in your self-assessment that the design FMEA is available. So it is first type of change, what you can see in the evidences list. Let's see that what is the second one. Everybody knows that the IMDS, it is absolutely a critical part of our PPA. So if the IMDS is not okay, or it is not filled out in the internal portal, or international portal, so the customer will absolutely not approve our PPA. Now, the IMDS is absolutely a mandatory documentation, so it was not changed. But if you are checking here that the IMDS from the first chapter as a product development document, it was moving to chapter 3 as a part of the product validation and verification. So you can see here that the IMDS data should be available as a product validation and verification data. Okay, so this kind of change you can see there. Not only reducing the evidence, but sometimes the evidences are going to different chapter inside the PPA. Okay, let's see that what other. What was eliminated? It should be one of the questions. So you can see here that, for example, if we are checking the software requirements, so in the past, as I told you, it was it was 11 different documentation or evidences. And now what we can see here, the software release, the scope of the software, contractually stipulated quality requirement, technical software specification, and so on, will be eliminated. It is the question that will be eliminated. So it is only my opinion, but I think these documentation will be not disappearing from the PPA, only it will be grouped. For example, we can see here that evidence of implementation, quality and technical requirements. Because if we are seeing, I cannot imagine that, for example, the scope of the software will be not required by the customer. So it is one of the minimum requirements what they have to know, that what is the scope, what the software will do inside in our product. So that's why I'm telling you that it will be not eliminated, but it will be a little bit modified, that what kind of evidence we should show to the customer. Okay, let's see one of the main items which will be changed. Since years, the OEMs are informing us that too much components or finished products they have, which is going from the project side to the serial condition with only conditional or temporary approval. Because when we have the SOP timing, unfortunately, we have a lot of open items, and they would like to eliminate it from the project. So we know, as you can see here in the left side of the dia, that we had 3 possibilities for the approval from the customer. The green one, when everything is okay, we reach the requirements, it will be green color and absolutely final agreement of the components or the finished goods. The other side is the red one, when they are refusing our approval. And between these two, we had a possibility as a yellow approval for the temporary approval till we are getting some time limit or quantity limit from the customer, that till when we have to solve our problems. So now in the 7th chapter or 7th edition, you can see here that there will be only 2 possibilities. So the approval will be granted or it will be not granted, and it will be refused. So there will be the question whether what will happening with the temporary approval, but based on the current yellow version, only these 2 possibility will be in the new process. It will be granted or the PPA will be not granted. Okay, so it is one of the main changes which will be so interesting. As I told you some minutes before, that what should be the content of our risk assessment when we are starting the PPA process, now it is defined in this 7th edition of the PPA. So you can see here listed that what should be the content. So it will be also very, very highlighted point of the volume, that how we should do our risk assessment, okay? But it is absolutely written, absolutely defined that how we have to do it. Okay, let's see that what is changing in the annexes. So how many we had and how many we will have in the future. So in this 6th edition of the VDA 2 volume, there were 9 different, and now we will have only 2 of them. So many of the annexes will be eliminated from the booklet. What does it mean? That which will be remains and which will be eliminated. So which is remains, evidence table of the PPA. Oh, sorry, it was not translated from Hungarian version, but I hope that you understand. So a table of the evidences of the PPA, and the second is the comparison of PPA and the PPAP process. So what is the evidence differentiation between the PPA and the PPAP process. So it was part, or it is part of the 6th edition also, but it will be also in the 7th edition, but which will be eliminated. So it is so interesting because, as I told you, that for example here at the end, the trigger matrix and the instruction of the using of the trigger matrix will be eliminated. Cover sheet for the software PPA will be eliminated, or the self-assessment itself of the product and the manufacturing process will be also not part of the documentation. So for these Excel files, it is absolutely needed to directly contact to your OEM contact person, and they will send to you, or they will show it to you that where you can find in their portals these kind of documentations. Okay? So I know that we have only little time, so I can speak more than 2 weeks about the changes that what will coming in the near future. But now it was our little time here in the coffee break to show you that what kind of changes we have. But as I see that we had a question here. We have this also in 6th edition flow chart and how to use the trigger matrix. Yeah, the questions itself, that how the trigger matrix can be used. Yes, you are right that it is in the 6th edition, but itself it will be in the VDA 2 volume. Okay. I don't know whether any other question you have. Or if not, I will give back the sentences or the questions to Adam
Okay,
and
thank you. But
Mariana.
only the sentence, but can you jump to the next slide,
Yes,
please? I hope
absolutely.
it's
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Just a couple of upcoming training. 6.5 qualification for product auditor. I don't know how it's going in your countries, but here in Hungary, OEMs and tier ones are knocking on the door, and they would like to have. They are asking during audits the product auditor qualifications of your colleagues. So please, if you have this type of request, do not hesitate to contact us. Former Q, Volkswagen. Krista, is it you? You are doing generally, right? The former Q. So Christina will do this on the 24th and 25th of March. The latest and greatest for Mercu, right? 6.3 next week. There will be 6.3 training plus certified exam. If you feel like to participate, I can give you extra discounts next week in Serbian language in Kragujevac. If this, I think that is a kind of last minute action what I can give to you, do not hesitate. And 19.2 technical cleanliness in assembly. This is also something which is requested as of today. If you switch to the next slide, Christina. And the new upcoming coffee breaks are interesting. Maybe you know, maybe not. The new VDA 19.1 is rolling out. Our trainers has already participated on the Train the Trainer event. So it's hopefully on the 17th. By the 17th of April, it will be published on. Also, no, it's published already, but we can discuss about it. We don't have yet in our hand the English version of the training material. And then after then the ISO 9001 upcoming changes, which is, I hope everyone is expecting and waiting. Thank you very much. It was a little bit more than 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this. As usual, as I said at the beginning, everything will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. And if you don't have questions, you are more than welcome on our next coffee breaks. Christina, a special thanks to you as well.